It's about to get more difficult to share your home through online platforms like Airbnb. A report's recommended a series of regulations for the growing industry, which will make WA's laws the strictest in the country.
Keith Gano became an Airbnb host in 2016 when redundancy forced him into an early retirement.
Welcome.
Home sharing earns the 68-year-old $10,000 a year. He says without that cash, he'd struggle to pay his mortgage.
And what we've given to the guests is an affordable stay and the ability to choose where they want to stay.
In the past 12 months, more than 800,000 guests have stayed in 13,000 WA homes using Airbnb. The hotel industry has long called for regulation of home sharing websites, and today a parliamentary committee agreed, tabling a range of recommendations.
We think that this is one of the most effective reports into the review of short stay accommodation that's occurred of all of the jurisdictions throughout Australia.
Under the proposed new rules, owners will have to pay a registration fee. Strata companies will also have the power to ban owners from short stay letting.
We also certainly need the ability for our local communities to say this much and no more. When it gets to the point where tourism is crowding out residents, we're shooting up housing prices and rents, then we know we've gone too far.
The recommendations ignored hotel industry calls for investment properties to be banned, as well as pleas to implement a minimum 14-day rental period for whole houses.
And the way people are travelling has changed. People don't want to travel the way their parents and grandparents did. They want to live like a local and have a more authentic tourist experience. And so we welcome many of the findings today.
The final regulations are yet to be decided. Nathan Brooks for 10 News First.
Travellers will soon be able to fly between Perth and Shanghai non-stop. It's hoped the 5-week trial will not only spark a Chinese tourism boom, but help the export of a WA delicacy.
From Chinatown in Northbridge all the way to Shanghai with just a single boarding pass.
I'd urge every West Australian, take advantage of the flights. I'd urge everyone in Shanghai, use the flights.
Come January, China Eastern will fly directly between Perth and Shanghai 3 times a week. A tourism boost potentially worth $70 million to WA. The trial operating for 5 weeks over the Chinese New Year period.
It's the time when Chinese people tend to get their holidays and want to travel, and therefore a very likely successful time for starting the flights.
We are greeting the year of the rat, that we may bring with us the image of Coca together with Premier McGovern and Minister Papalia on the flight to Shanghai.
Currently, travellers have to stop over in Singapore, a journey that takes at least 11.5 hours. The direct flight will shave around 3 hours off that. And the flights won't just be taking tourists, with plans to stow 15,000 WA rock lobsters in the plane's underbelly on each trip. The Chinese currently make up just over 12% of all visitors to WA, but they are the biggest spenders, splashing close to $300 million on trips to our part of the world. But it's not a one-way street. WA tourists travelling to Shanghai will help secure a permanent non-stop flight.
Get on those flights and make it successful the other way. That'll be what determines it.